still in first from same as last week on Sunday here with a 1:18.6. The closest person behind him is Valette Curry Cat, which is 0.2 behind him. Naimi with only a 200ths of a second gap between second and third here. With the dying moments of this session, OCD Nova, who wasn't racing last week, same with P2, is behind in fourth. Fast Raj, who was racing, is in fifth. Aussie Nova just going the quickest of the session in the dying moments here. Bazooga Buzen is in sixth place with a 1:19.1 here. And we have all the retirements with Boblet Scott, Alberto in 8th, Boblet Scott in 7th, Wadler Billy in 9th, Jose WEC having a spin there. The spins everywhere. Not sure what's going on here, but as you see, we run on board with Freaky Baby, who has just gone quickest yet again, going 100th of a second faster than Occidere Nova. Very close pace here between the top two runners here. James Z Killer is down in 14th, with Adrian Blanco being the last man here. So the only person that needs to, the two people that need to retire here will allow us to not wait this 1 second, but I'm not sure anyone's that toxic, to be honest. So I'm late because I wasn't given an invite and I was appearing offline, and that's probably why. I might need to go into a party, because if someone else is in voice chat, they can hear us right now. There you go. You should be able to see the screen now. As we're still waiting for P4 and P10. But it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. I need to turn that to private as well. There we go. I might put a slash and then a OFR commentary next to my name. So Occidere Nova is in P2 for the Spanish Grand Prix. So Freaky Baby on pole, Occidere Nova in 2, Curry Cat in 3rd, Naimi in 4th, Fast Raj in 5th, Bugziger in 6th, Boblet in 7th, Alberto in 8th, Wadler Billy in 9th, Jose WEC 10th, Pace Sven 11th, Test Track 12th, Texas 13th, James 14th, and Adrian Blanco in 15th. And here comes the race now. At least I didn't miss the race, guys. Bing, ding, dong. That might get copyrighted, I don't know. I'm having issues with that intro, to be honest. I should have skipped it, but I will. I'm just gonna retire. I'm just gonna retire here. I forgot to click spectate. Oh, Oh, let me retire, please. Let me retire. There we go. Right, so I don't know what the hell that was. I completely forgot to click. And there's already been a crash back here with Buzikabuzen losing positions all over the place. The Renault has dropped to the back, who is... Oh! P2 has dropped to P17 after the first corner, after being spun out, and has retired as he thinks he will not be able to get back into this race now. Test Track has gone off the track here with Adrian Blanco just being hit off by Pele Grosjean. I'm saving that one. That's going straight on the report website. Hold on. Already, man. Bidding. Plugging in my USB. He's being reported now. I know I'm a commentator, but he shouldn't be able to do that. And yeah, so Freaky Rabbit still in first with Osidanova in. Oh wait, hold on. Curry Cat was in, not in second. Sorry, he dropped down after Osidanova, I think. Fast Rush just made it up into third with Naimi dropping down into fifth with. Seems to be going right on the back of Naimi here, going for the overtake to get into P5. Texas only a short far. Oh no! Texas has lost the back end there and has gone straight onto the grass, putting him down into P10 with James Edkiller, who is in the Sauber, picking up the position there. Pace then 2. You see Freaky Baby... I don't know what the hell. Freaky Baby picking up the fastest lap on lap 3 here. Well, at the end of lap 2, going on to lap 3. Fast Raj in the Haas in third place with Bob Scott still in fourth and Naimi still in fifth, who is doing well to stay ahead of El Barto. Someone's just picked up a penalty there. Wildlow Billy picking up the penalty. Wildlow Billy DNFing. You see Pele Grosjean losing the back end there. Oh, I really want to do that, man. Alright. I'm gonna look that up. You see James Killer right on the back of Pace Sven here. He has the closest delta time to the guy ahead, so we're going to stay on board here and see what he can do down the straight. Well, Freaky Baby Pirelli Grosjean, who was very aggressive towards a Williams, was it a Williams driver? Yeah, a Williams driver, Adrian Blanco. Speed Kill's also retiring after crashing here. Yeah, Adrian Blanco was thrown into the wall. See, yeah, as Pellegrino did retire. James Killer even closer this time around now, getting the DRS open here, but not being able to close up too much. Seems to be shifting up early on, maybe on automatic gears. Still the closest delta time, except for Naimi, who sees Boblet Scott have an alright run through there actually. That just looked terrible. As we get one viewer here, which is nice. And we see Boblet Scott 3 seconds behind Fast Rush in P4, with the Fast Rush in P3 catching up to WEC, who has disconnected. This would allow Fast Rush to get DRS down the straights, I think, if I am correct, which it does. Naimi going onto the gravel a little bit there on his front left tyre. But James Killer still very close to Pace Sven, who is also closing right up to El Barto here. Let's see if El Barto has any front wing damage. No, he doesn't. He just doesn't have much good pace here compared to Sven and James Killer. Right, so as we see the battle between Pace Sven and El Barto, as El Barto goes into defensive mode to fight off Sven here. He again goes defensive, but cuts back over onto the racing line, as he knows Pace Sven will probably not get the move. Getting a bit of lag here. James Killer closing right onto the back of Pace Sven now, looking to snatch both of them up here as he opens his DRS the same as Pace Sven. Pace Sven seems to be running a little bit less downforce. Oh, Pace Sven getting right up the back of El Barto here, looking to see what he can do down the straight now, see if he's running less downforce, and with the work of DRS, can he get the move done? James Killer also at the back of the two here, as he watches with a great view here that we get of the battle here, as Pace Sven makes the move stick around the outside. Is it the outside? Oh, please tell me it was the outside. But now James Killer closing right up into the back of the Haas now, looking to also make the move. But the Haas fights back on Pace Sven here. El Barto gets back in front of Pace Sven, and Pace Sven has pushed James Killer off now, who is struggling for traction with his dirty tyres. But it does not matter, he probably will not lose that much time to the guy ahead, who is 20 seconds behind. Boblet Scott also right on the back of Naimi here, who has just overtaken him, I guess. Ricky Baby, stop saying he's lost the position. This game is so broken right now. Pace in round the back of Alberto here. Also trying to make the move stick around the outside, which turns to the inside, which also turns back to the outside, and Alberto has defended him. But will Pacevin try it around the outside again? No, he will not. But will he try it into this corner here? Yes, he will, and has touched Alberto here. And seems to have got past him now. But as Alberto comes up the inside again, was left room but was not able to do anything with that move, and Pacevin has cleanly got past him now. Boblet's got round the back of Naimi here now. See what he can do down the straight. As this isn't much of an overtaking position here, but this will be with DRS and Rich mixture. That's right on board. So he opens the DRS now. Will he be able to dive bomb him into the first corner? No, he will not. He will have a look, but does not do anything with that. Please tell me this is a glitch. Oh no, I'm not going to be able to ride on board with these guys. Justin 484805 has joined here, but it's too late. What is this? I'm also saying about the broken car, the broken game. Did the redstone go down? If we... I don't understand. He's either revving the car out way too high, or... No, there's something very wrong with this right here, as there's a Sector 3 issue here. Naimi pits, and Boblet Scott does, and Boblet Scott has come out ahead of Naimi here, obviously overtaking him, which means James Ed's Killer has got up into P5. We've got a little bit understeer there. Raj still in third with lots of zone over. Right, don't understand. As Freaky Baby pits, but we will not be able to ride on board because of the revving. James said Killer still in fifth, not pitting yet. Robert Scott, who is his teammate, is closing up to James A. Killer now, with Naimi 5 seconds behind him. But the field is very spread out right now, but Naimi, Buziga Buzin is the closest to his teammate right now in P8, after Naimi being in P7. James A. Killer has just pitted now, which will mean Naimi will go into P6 with Buziga Buzin moving up into P7. Alberto moving up to P8 as well. So Buziga Buzin closing right to Naimi here now, with a 7/10 gap and now 8/10 here. As they go around a right-handed here. Just turns to a left-hander. which will turn to the chicane. James the Killer gets ahead of Texas, and they are having a very close fight here, as Texas is turning in, but James the Killer was there. Well, I wouldn't say he was there, but was very late under brakes and put his tyre there and was touched by Texas, who got a bit of wheel spin and slid a tiny little bit. But James the Killer now coming into the slipstream of Texas, going through the ghosted car there. Texas running a little bit wide compared to James the Killer's line. James the Killer will have to do something down the straight here to get past Texas. But Texas makes a mistake out of the final chicane here, which James the Killer will definitely capitalize on as he gets in his slipstream, which Texas moved out of the way of. James the Killer moves past, but is hit by Texas there. Completely swerved over into his line there. Not sure what that was, but he now has the inside line. But James the Killer cleanly goes around the outside there and is given P9. Physical Boozin still quite close to his teammate ahead. Fast Raj, who hasn't pit yet, which started on the mediums, is now in P1 after the leader's pit. With pace Sven on hards, I think. Okay, tyre. So P1 on mediums and 2, 3 and 4 on hards, with Boblet Scott on softs. Here we see running along with Boblet Scott, who is in very much clear air behind and in front, so we'll see if he can close up to pace Sven, who is on 2 steps harder compound of tyre. There's not much to commentate on here because the field is very spread out around this track. It's quite long, which means that people can really spread out. No one's very close at the moment. No one seeming to be having a fight here. So this is round 3. I missed round 1 because I wasn't commentating, and I commentated last race here. Baby's still in the lead by quite some margin. You see Naomi going through the final chicane now. There's still nothing to commentate on with, like, okay, let's do the let's do the, what we call the, I need to know the times, I don't know, to be honest. Right, so we'll have to have this overlay on, but like, we'll roll with it. Can I move the, let's see if we can move the, on-screen display. Let's turn the opacity down. That's the one. Mine, that didn't do anything, did it? The hell? Hold on. Graphics options, there we go. And then we'll just like all the way. That doesn't, hold on. Doesn't seem to do anything, but anyway, let's play the commentator look around. It's called. Basically, we look around the track and see what's around. So here you see the grandstand coming down the straight on the start-finish straight, with all the people on the right stood around looking at them coming round the long right-hander, with loads of trees up to the right there, and to the left here you see all the trees stood there. Here we see more grandstands on the right as they go through the left-hander. Those grandstands on the right there also get a great view of both parts of the track, really. With more people sat on the left here, and another grandstand on the left through that fast right-hander there. As we see a lovely ghosted car here. That's what you see every day around this track, a ghost car that people just drive through. It's quite average, to be honest. Now, as we've done the track, we can now look into further details. Now, if you look at the grass, you can see the white patches. They're called dandelions, and they're weeds. Yes. The AstroTurf is very clean, but if you get your wheel on it with full torque, that is going to spin you very quickly. And the gravel, obviously, is a trap. It's a trap! And it's a trap because if you sit in there too long, you aren't getting out, mate. Actually, your car out of the race. Maybe not in this game, but maybe in the future. Maybe when you can make headlines as Bobblet Scott loses the back end there, which has lost him time, as Naimi now closing up to him. Now cutting the gap down to under 5 seconds here. Oh, and it's gone up again. Dang. So, Pacefin, the only one not making a stop here, obviously starting on the hards. So now we can see that Payson has made up 8 places, but obviously not pitting has helped him do that. Fast Rusher picked up 1 place, with Bobblet Scott picking up 2. Naimi losing to Bizica Boozin losing 1. Jonas and Killer has picked up 5, starting in P14. And Texas has picked up 3, but is quite far behind. So the gap to the leader from Nova is just over a second, so Gonna ride on board, and his glitch has stopped now, as Nova has gone quickest here. So now P1 and 2 very close here. We might see a battle for the lead, which is what we're all here for, really. He's getting very close now, obviously pushing really hard on his tyres. Not sure how this is going to help him in the long run, because he's still got to do another 14 laps on these tyres, but we'll see how he does. And we know how harsh Spain can be on tyres, as he now gets DRS on Freaky Baby, who is just under a second now away from him, as he closes up in the hairpin, getting a double lock up there, but not resulting in anything serious. With El Barto closing right up onto the back of Boblet Scott here, I just saw the gap there, but here they go through the right-hander, which will turn to a left-hander in the space of 300 meters or so. The battle for the lead is still about as Boblet Scott went on the gravel there, but not really much time lost there. I think he did get DRS down that straight because of these ghost cars. I don't think that should be a thing though. Ghost cars giving you DRS, but oh well, that's how it is. But otherwise I'm still on the back of him by 6/10 here, going through the final chicane. Fast Rise now only 6/10 behind Payson, who's probably struggling on his tyres after being on them for 20 laps, even though they are hards. The gap between the leaders is still pretty close, and we'll see if Nova can close back up again. Fast Rush now going around the outside of Paceven, who did not contest that at all. Obviously knowing that he needs to pit again, and his tyres are now going off, there's no point holding up a leader. As he pits this lap now, coming on to probably the softs here. Not sure he'll have to go on any harder tyre than that. The gap still being a second here, Freaky Baby holding the time here, putting in some quick laps, as well as Nova. Or offside, I don't know how to say some of these names, man. Boblet Scott on 2 stops now, with being 30 seconds behind. Now I'm here on the 1 stop, which means Nova has gone on to hards. Sorry, I'm looking at the wrong person. Yes, Payson has gone on to mediums, which is what... Oh no, I don't want to softs. Maybe they can't make it, I don't know. I never raced at this track, to be honest. As Boblet Scott has still held the position off of El Barto here. She's very close, but here we see Nova closing right up onto the back of Freaky Baby here. Very, very close going into the first and second corner here, going through the fast and long sweeping right-hander here. And the ghost car making a very swift turn in that right-hander. Very weird to see there. Freaky Baby now obviously coming under pressure from Nova, could make a mistake here and give up his lead. Still nothing that close except for El Barto and Boblet Scott, but it has stayed a stalemate for a very long time, with about 3 laps in that battle there. But now the leaders P1 and P2. Still P1 and 2 still being the same distance away from each other still. But Acidanova now putting a lot of pressure on the back of Freaky Baby here. Could, in DRS, could close very, very close up. This fuel mix in standard. Well, we'll see if he goes up to Rich while in DRS spots. Now Boblet's got now actually behind Alberto, but has got the DRS and will be fighting Alberto back, who came into the exit and could have taken out the Force India there, but didn't, so that was cool. Acidanova now 5 tenths behind, but with the DRS he is closing up, but that is weaving from Freaky Baby there. The Red Bull closing right up to the back of the Ferrari here. Getting quite a lot of dirt. Yeah, there was Acidanova. That's how I'm going to say it, to be honest. As Naimi makes another pit stop here. With only 9 laps to go now. Boblet's got right on the back of Alberto here. Right on the back of him. See if we can get past him on the straight. As he opens the DRS and stays in standard though, is getting past Alberto. He squeezed him quite aggressively there. Bizikabuzen, who is in P8, is closing right up on the back of Alberto, who could be a third party here. We'll see what they do. This is a good view on with. Oh dear! That could have been a very, very bad ending for Bizikabuzen if he wasn't such a quick reflex person there. Yeah, Alberto was spun a little bit by Boblet Scott, which meant Bizikabuzen could not capitalise on that as he spun into his line. But now he opens the DRS and so does Alberto, which means they're both going to close right up onto the back of Boblet Scott, who brakes a lot earlier than Alberto does. Obviously Alberto, which means Bizikabuzen has the most amount of fuel out of all 3 of them, meaning he can push the hardest and for the longest. So Alberto goes into the pits yet again for his second stop here, after Bizikabuzen also already making his second stop, and so with Boblet Scott. So I don't know why Alberto was fighting there, as he knew he needed to make another pit stop, so that has not helped Boblet Scott's race there to catch Naimi. Alberto did that last race as well, but obviously just looking for battles there. I don't condemn of that, and I don't want that to happen, as it isn't really fair on the drivers trying to fight for a position in the championship against the person who is ahead of them, or even their teammate, and they can be competitive, but being held up by a car that's not even in your race is very annoying. But El Barto has come out. As Freaky Baby... I didn't see that. Oh, I'm so sorry, I didn't see that. Hurry. So... right now, Freaky Baby does not look that good. His tyres don't look that good, to be honest, and his traction doesn't look that good either. As he slides through that corner and has lost the back end. And is very quick to get back on the power, but has spun it again. This isn't very good for Freaky Baby here, as Fast Raj is going to capitalise on this moment and see if he can catch the Ferrari here. And let's see what he can do. Closing the gap from 20 seconds in about 3 corners down to 7 seconds there. That is dramatic for the Ferrari here. So, Nova has got past Freaky Baby and is now probably going to win this race looking at the gap. Fast Raj keeping the gap at 6 seconds at the moment, but is closing in the 100ths of a second here. Closing it in all the time, But Freaky Baby is now extending the gap, but is brought back down again by Fast Raj. Fast Raj is really going to need to push now to catch onto the back of Freaky Baby, who seems to be dealing with a lot of tyre wear, but will probably not be able to push with the amount of fuel he has, as you can see in the bottom right. As the... oh, I thought that was just a Nova. I was going to say, what the hell? But that is Texas going on the gravel there, losing the back end dramatically. Still Freaky Baby keeping the gap at 6 seconds to Fast Raj. This must be frustrating for Fast Raj, who has an extra 1 lap of fuel. Barto following the leader here. This is a good view of Nova, but we're here for Naomi closing up on the back of pace then as well, with only a 2-second gap between them. With only 4 laps to go now, this is where Naomi needs to push with half a lap extra fuel. He could run it and reach the last 2 laps here. So let's see what he could do with pace event having to fuel save here in lean mixture, which is giving Naomi the opportunity to close up to him. And has definitely done that in the past, in the last sector there. Naomi setting the fastest lap of the race here, definitely pushing to get on the back of pace Sven here, who is only on a 1 stop, so Naomi having definitely better pace here than the Red Bull, my god, I'm so stupid, the McLaren here. It doesn't matter, Red Bull's going to Honda next season, they're both the same. Oh, wrong button. Naomi now within the 1 second gap of Pacefin, who is on a harder set of tyres and has been on those tyres longer. So we'll see what happens with Bob. It's got picking up a 3-second time penalty, but will not affect his position at the moment. And Bob Scott has left the session here, either disconnecting or just giving up in the last 3 laps. 90% sure that was a disconnect there. You're gonna have to check here. I can't even invite him, which is quite sad, to be honest. But we'll see if he joins back here. But this is really, really gonna help James here if he can push enough to close up to Bob Scott. So Naomi now within 1.5 seconds. Not DRS range yet though. It was closer than this, but obviously Paceman just having a little bit more pace was able to make the gap a little bit bigger again. DRS board there being destroyed by someone who ran wide there. Before, obviously. Fast Garage now cutting the gap down to 5.2 seconds. And Bob Scott has joined the session again and will be able to take control of his car. So Naomi now closing right onto the back of Paceman. The gap coming down to 1 second, now just under 1 second, and going back up to 1 second again. Coming under 1 second again. And that is now going up again. Decreasing. Gone up to 1 second again. First man. Oh, has come down to 8/10, gone up again. The slipstream, and he'll be able to push in the final 2 laps here to secure 4th place if he can. But Paceman obviously going to be trying to defend with all his might here. Coming on to the final 2 laps here, with Naomi cutting the seconds down to 0.6. What can he do? Now only 4/10 here. He's going to have to really capitalise down this straight as he goes right up to the back of Paceman through that chicane. As he pulls out the rich mixture and opens the DRS, Paceman has pulled across. And Naomi not taking that slipstream there. It's going to be squeezed by the McLaren Honda, which will turn to the inside for him, and he'll leave space on the McLaren Honda there. But that is Naomi moving up into P4. Now, as we all see, Paceman will definitely try to fight for that P4 position and try and secure that one back. Naomi quite slow through there, but James Z. Killer now leaving the session, the same as his teammate there. Something's definitely gone wrong here for Sauber. Obviously getting technical difficulties away from them there, just completely leaving the session. And yeah, I can invite him because I know him. Ding ding dong. So Oh, and pace Sven has gone off there, which will mean Buzikabuzen will now be able to close right up to back of him, who is Naimi's teammate. But this is the final lap, and I don't think Buzikabuzen will be able to catch pace Sven here, who has already got the dirt off his tyres. But you never know. Something can happen. He's definitely pushing here. Going into Rich. Going through the chicane there. See, does not open the DRS here. Just had to close up with Slipstream and DRS. This could be very close for P5 here. This could mean that pace Sven will lose the position, but I don't think he will, because there's no overtaking spots here, and I think pace Sven has secured P5, but maybe not on penalties. I have not been keeping track of penalties here. But that does mean pace Sven has dropped to P6, but he finished in P6.
Welcome then to the podium, our top
And here is the podium.
What a great effort from them today in a very difficult race.
With the Red Bull winning, with Nova winning, Freaky Baby second, and who's it in third? Oh, Fast Raj. Well, that's a GG. So, Nova winning, Freaky Baby second, Fast Rush third, Naimi fourth, Bizigo fifth, Sven sixth, Boblet Scott seventh, Verline eighth. Pretty good for Verline. Bartow ninth, Texas 10th, Adrian 11th, Test Track 12th. Sebastian Vettel 13th, Hulkenberg 14th, Hamilton 15th, Daniel Kvyat 16th, Brattas 2nd, and obviously me down in 18th over there, holding that position strong right there, having to defend it from the very best. So, that was the race. I hope you did enjoy, and I'll see you all in the next one. Bye!